Hey guys, I'm Emily,
And I'm Kat Larson.
and we are your hosts for She's Got the Keys. We're real estate agents at Keller Williams Greater Seattle, and today we're going to take you through
Shoreline.
whoop whoop. She's sassy, she's fun. You're going to want to know
Yeah,
about it.
she's really cute.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times. Oh, I shouldn't say all that yet because they haven't watched the episode yet, right?
Yeah, don't give too much away.
I can't give too much away. Oh, but yeah, come watch. Come see what we've got to show you.
Shoreline!
We're here. We're doing it.
It's actually, the spot that we're in is awesome, and I feel like a lot of people in the Seattle area don't know enough about Shoreline.
I agree. I think we get kind of like lumped in, like we get spread over. It's like, and
Yeah.
it really does need to be standout showstopper. It gets its own spotlight because I think people have been sleeping on the city too long and it's gonna not be that way forever.
Yeah, Shoreline's popping off with the light rail station that came in 2024, and they've done a lot of development. So follow along with us, and
Yep.
we will take you through.
We're gonna show you some goodies and it will be like worth saving our episode. So come see what we've got to show you today. Okay, so first things first, Emily, tell us where Shoreline is located.
So Shoreline is in King County, but it is its own district, city north of Seattle. So on the very, very north end is where you're going to get Shoreline.
Okay, does it sit north or south of Edmonds?
It's south of Edmonds. It's actually right next door to Edmonds. So I
Yay.
used to work for the Shoreline School District and I lived in Edmonds. They're right next door.
Awesome.
Shoreline's made up of a lot of neighborhoods. So one of the things I think that Shoreline really lacks is its downtown vibe. It doesn't have that so much, but it definitely has lots of neighborhoods.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's why it gets glazed over a little bit compared to its neighbor of Edmonds, right? Because Edmonds really brings it with that downtown
It's
feel.
got a downtown, but Shoreline does have Richmond Beach.
Oh my gosh, which
stunning,
is a showstopper.
yeah, stunning place to hang out. And it's got the Boeing Creek Park.
Nice. One of my favorite pluses about the Shoreline neighborhoods that we're seeing today are the lot sizes. I think that when Shoreline was developed and the way it's continuing to develop, that's still a value that people have.
Totally.
So one of the big pluses in comparison to, say, Seattle is the amount of room, the breathing room that you'll get when purchasing a home in this area.
Yeah, there are still sublots where folks have maybe built a property behind their primary property, but those aren't quite as common as you're going to find in King County specifically.
Yeah.
And there are still quite a few builds that were done in like the 1950s. They're very small homes.
Okay.
But again, sit on larger lots because they had the land to do that back then.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more attractive though now that the light rail goes through this area. I think that we're
Yeah.
going to see more of a trickle down from King County out into here.
And I think that's why we're motivated to do this episode. I think that we've seen Shoreline as a huge opportunity that's been glazed over by people who aren't from the area and
Yep.
don't have the nuances of what's what.
Yep.
And for that reason, it's like get ahead of the curve, go take a look at it, go see what we can learn and explore now before it becomes like your next, hot neighborhood that's going to be impossible to compete in, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into the numbers of what it actually costs to live in Shoreline. In December of 2025, the median price point was right around $736,000. That's down 3.6% year over year. And I don't want you to freak out because 3.6% is not a huge margin. But buyers are doing their due diligence, they're doing their inspections, they're asking for seller concessions. So if you look at the median price point right now on the market, it's right around $795,000, which means there's a discrepancy between the price that they are posting and the price that homes actually sell for. And that's where you're going to find your equity.
So the number I really want you to pay attention to is days on market, because right now, homes in Shoreline are averaging about 30 days to sell. 1 year ago, that number was 21 days. So 9 days might not seem like a huge difference, but that right there, that correction right there, is really where opportunity lies. So the market is not dead by any means. Instead, it's asking more from both buyers and sellers. Sellers need to come prepared to be attractive. Buyers need to be ready to do their research and to hold their ground when it comes to negotiations. Next, we need to talk about inventory because in Shoreline, inventory is up. With over 150 active listings right now, this is huge compared to last year, where you didn't have time to be selective and you really didn't have a lot of choice in the matter. You had to take what was coming your way and be ready to compete on it. Today, you have inventory to choose from, you can slow down, and you can stop and ask important questions. The thing to know is well priced homes are still moving very fast. So if you're looking at a price point and you've got one that's been sitting on the market for 45 days, but everything else in that price point went under contract within a week, that's a red flag. That gives you time to stop and ask the questions why it's still there. So when you're shopping in this area, slow down and ask the questions, do your research, and be informed because that could make the difference between buying a money pit and buying a great investment.
All right, sellers, this next part is for you, and I want you to really listen up. The first 7 to 10 days are your money spots when it comes to entering into the market. You want to price your home really well so that you get enough attention. Because our buyers are so picky, it is your job to make sure that you come to the market with all of your ducks in a row. If you get an offer within those 7 to 10 days, that means you've priced it right. However, if after the 10-day window you have crickets and people aren't really reaching out, the market is speaking to you and it's telling you it's time to change your price point.
All right, guys, the other thing we have to talk about is condition. This is the other lever that buyers are going to pull on when they're making their decision. So you're not just competing with like the house down the street, you're competing with everything that's on the market right now. Things like paint, fresh mulch on the front yard, those things are going to help your home show well. So what we don't need is a home in perfect condition with a full renovation, but we need it to be show ready, which means if you're catching something that like bothers you with your eye, like, oh, that one little thing is standing out of there, that means buyers are seeing it 1,000 times bigger than you. And those things matter when it comes to who's going to win at the end of the day for getting an offer on their home. Now, friends, when it comes to the light rail, we are talking quality of life changer. This is a big deal. If you can live in Shoreline and change your commute from, say, 45 minutes, hour and a half, to a very predictable time frame, that is a number that is really difficult to quantify, meaning it's hard to put a price tag on that kind of benefit. And that is just something Shoreline can deliver that not everywhere else can.
Another thing to consider is development. Because the light rail has only just recently opened up, we are starting to see development skyrocket. If we think about 5, 10, 15 years down the road, the city living is going to be moving further north. So we're going to see those house prices continue to rise, which means cash in your pocket.
It's time for a verdict.
We have to tell you what we feel.
Yeah. It's necessary. This is why people come to listen to us yap.
Anyways, how do we feel about Shoreline?
Okay, verdict. We have a couple major headlines to review, and then we can just kind of put it to bed. Yeah? Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I feel like Shoreline is a good buy right now.
I think Shoreline is a good buy because, well, first, can we eliminate that it's a crashing market? This is not a crashing market. This is a market that's thriving, especially because buyers can get good results and sellers can get good results when priced correctly.
But you are seeing a drop of 3.6%. And I think that that is big news for buyers.
Yeah, that's what makes it a winning market for me because it's not just a runaway train for both, or like for one seller or one buyer. It's dual-sided there, which tells me it's a healthy market.
Symbiotic. We call that.
Symbiotic.
Everybody's benefiting. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, that's a good sign for me. So days on market moving, price points moving, and then we also have the light rail.
It's so close to
And
everything.
it's like right in front of people's eyes and they haven't figured it out yet. So to me, this is like such a key opportune time because
Yeah, nobody knows what tomorrow will bring, but historically, property values have continued to grow in the Seattle metro area, and we are seeing a dip right now.
yeah,
And so let's talk about it.
buy the
and
dip, right?
Buy in the dip.
Buy in the dip.
guys.
That's what people say. So it's odd because I'll see family that I haven't seen in a couple months and they're like, we're going to buy. We're just waiting for REITs to drop. I'm like, you and everybody else. Like the amount of people that come back into the market after even just a quarter percentage, half a percentage benefit in their favor is we're talking hundreds, thousands of buyers. So your competition is going right back up. Supply and demand shows up and boom, we're back to competing. So buying the dip is really where the opportunity lives.
And you don't want to compete. That's the thing. You want to get into a situation where you get to set the terms
Yeah,
of the deal.
where you have the negotiating power. You get to say exactly what you want back in concessions, what you're going to ask for an inspection, and most importantly, your offering price.
Yeah. So if you found this episode helpful, please make sure that you subscribe and follow along. That's what Kat and I do.
Yeah.
And we're here to make it easier for you so that when you decide you're ready to make that move, you have all the deets.
Yeah. So come find us. We're a blast to shop with, and we'll definitely tell you what we think and help you make the right call.
So give us a call, and thanks so much for following along.
See you next time.